Evening. Welcome to the Town of Ayer's Municipal Aggregation Public Information Forum. I'm Robert Pomprian, the Ayer Town Manager, joined with Carly Antonellis, the Assistant Town Manager, and we're joined by Mark Capadonna and Denise Allard from the Colonial Power Group, which is the leading aggregation consulting firm in Massachusetts. They serve over 100 municipalities in Massachusetts, and we're pleased to be working with them, and Town of Ayer included with that. So for this evening, what we're going to do is we have folks in the audience and folks on screen. Mark and Denise are going to give a brief overview of municipal aggregation and where we're at in the process. And then the most important part is we want to answer all of your questions, and we have the experts here. There are no bad questions. There are no dumb questions. And there'll probably be more questions even after this. And after this, Mark and Denise are not going to go away. Between Carly, myself, and them, if there are any questions after tonight's forum, just let my office know. So just to recap, just for everybody's benefit, the Ayer Town meeting fall of 2023 voted to authorize the town to pursue municipal aggregation. And why we wanted to pursue that from the Ayer Select Board, we'd heard from so many residents that energy is such a fixed cost, but it isn't fixed cost. It keeps going up. And we wanted to find a way in which we could offer lower cost energy to residents, and municipal aggregation, at least on the electric side, is a effective tool to do that. So town meeting authorized the process. The process we went through with Colonial, which has been great to work with. Recently, the select board voted the energy options after taking public input on that. And now we're getting ready towards implementation, hence why we want to have the public input session tonight to answer all of your questions. So I'm going to turn it over to Mark and Denise, and then after they finish, we want to open it up to questions, both in person and our folks on the screen. If you could just raise your hand, and we'll call on you with your questions, and we'll take those right after the brief overview. So with that, turn it over to you, Mark and Denise.
Thank you very much. Mark Capadonna, Colonial Power.
I'm Denise Allard. Nice to meet everyone.
So tonight we're here to talk to you about the Ayer Municipal Aggregation Program and the new options that the town is bringing the residents. It's truly a choice that hasn't existed in the marketplace before. So there's two types of things that I'm going to try to hold these up here so that hopefully people can see them at home. But one is an opt-out notice that everyone would have received. If they didn't receive that opt-out notice, you should have received this postcard. And I'm going to start with the opt-out notice. So this program is about your electricity bill for National Grid. Town has gone out and procured energy on your behalf. They brought you a choice that has not existed in the marketplace prior. Just let me explain. I'm sure 3 years ago, no one forgets when National Grid's rates spiked. This was not an option in the marketplace at the time, so you either had 33 cents or the shock-infested waters of third-party supply. Those were your two options at the time. What I want to tell you is there's a third option now, and the town is offering it. This option comes as an opt-out municipal aggregation, and I'm going to explain why the opt-out is important shortly. But for now, just understand, if you receive this and you don't opt out, you're going to be enrolled. But I want you to know no one's trying to hold you in this program. So much so, inside that packet could not be easier. There's a self-addressed stamped envelope, a simple card. You sign that, put it in this, drop it in the mail, you're out of the program. I have more good news. You can opt in this program and opt out of this program without fear of penalty at any time. When I say anytime, I'm really saying on your meter read. We still don't have smart meters, so we can only opt you in and out when on your meter reads. But I want you to know there's no fee or penalty to do so. Town wanted to make sure that you had all the flexibility that you needed. So I'm going to go through a quick scenario. Let's just say that right now, this is great and you're in the program. For whatever reason, peace comes across the planet and National Grid's basic service rate goes down to 9 cents a kilowatt hour. You're going to go online, Colonial Power Group, /Ayer, choose a town, Ayer, you're going to opt out of the program. Let's say that peace doesn't last long. and rates at 33 cents again, the town still has the 12.9 rate. You're going to turn around, you're going to opt back in, and you never have to worry about paying a fee or penalty like you do on third-party supply. What I'm saying is that nobody, and I repeat, no one has to pay more than the 12.9 in air any longer. They've set an electricity hedge on your behalf that sets a ceiling on prices for the next 18 months. So this is a wonderful option, given what you've been through in the recent past. Given that scenario, they also have other choices. In this 12.9 rate that everyone's going, that is the opt-out product. That's going to, the town, and I'm saying to you, it went through a laborious process to come up with the products. They added 10% more nuclear RECs, which are carbon-free, adding to the benefit of this product. So it's not just a meets product. If you happen to be on a fixed income, your budget doesn't have the elasticity in it, you can also opt down to a meets product at 12.6, or also a national wind product at 12.8. But as you can see, all of the products are below national grids, the 14.672. So no matter if you're in the program, you have savings right through August. August 1st, National Grid rate's going to change. This is their summer rate, so I expect their rate in the wintertime is going to go up from this 14.6. So I believe this, at least for the following 6 months, will be a very attractive rate. Given what's going on in the world of tariffs, I still think this is going to be a tremendous benefit. So what does this program mean for you? So from your perspective, how does it affect me? If you decide to stay in the program, if you have any of the utility benefits that might be there, you might have budget billing, you might have automatic withdrawal, you may have a low income customer discount, you may be using mass save, you may have solar panels. All of those issues are utility issues. That's an agreement that you have with the utility. They all stay in place. Nothing changes. So if you have a low income discount, you have budget billing, any of those things, it's all there. Nothing changes. This program is to address electron going through the wire. It's the commodity piece of electricity. So 2 parts to your bill. National Grid has a monopoly, and that's called the transmission and distribution costs. This is simply the supply, the generation charges on your bill. It would be on the back of your bill. That's the charge. That is this, if you receive this mailing, that is it in a nutshell. I want to say, if you have received this mailing, it's a little bit different. I want you to know you could still do the program's the same, except for this is telling you that you most likely have a third-party supply. And if you have a third-party supply, by law on the National Grid bill, if you turn it over, there'll be a supplier, XYZ supplier, and a 1-800 number. We ask that you call that 1-800 number and make sure there's no fee or penalty to leave your program. The one thing I want to state, it's really important, you're in a very interesting position because you now have leverage in the marketplace. Happens all the time. You mentioned, given the timing of this, I have an 18-month contract with ABC supplier. If you're able to meet the 12.9 for 18 months, meet it or beat it, I'm going to stay with you. And if they give you 10 cents, stay with the supplier. Not a problem. If they can't, that's up to you whether or not you wish to stay with the supplier or not. But now you have another option in the marketplace to lever against the supply community. Again, from that perspective, once that's done, you don't need to tell a supplier you're leaving. As long as you know there's no fee or penalty, it's easier to just simply call us at the 866-485-5858, extension 1, or go right online to Colonial Power Group, Town of Ayer, and opt into the program. If you have your bill, there's a button right in the front. If you have your bill handy when you do that, it will take you under 5 minutes. I'm not even 5 words a minute typist, and I can get it done in no time. So it's simple to get in. It's simple to get out. This is not third-party supply. It is actually municipal aggregation. So I want to explain why the program is set up as an opt-out. So for the many customers, that's a hot button item. But without the opt-out nature of this, the way electricity works, we have a chicken and the egg situation. So we'd go to the community, we'd say, who wants to opt in? You say, well, I don't know, what's the price? I go to the supply community and I say, hey, listen, we're looking for a price in air. Well, how many people are opting in? Well, what's the price? Well, now with municipal aggregation, they know, hey, so many people, believe it or not, even though the price is lower and it's more renewables, somewhere between 5 and 8% of the people will opt out of the program. That's perfectly fine. This program is about choice. That's what the town wanted to do, is make sure that they put a hedge out there and brought you choice. Whether you wish to participate or not is yours. Completely up to you whether you decide to do that or not. But always know, Mothership 12.9 is here for the next 18 months. One thing I didn't mention, we are the aggregators or the consultants. The supplier of this energy is First Point Power. And on your bill, this is how you'll always know you're on your bill. It will always say Air Ag, but it might say, this time I know for a fact it's going to say First Point Power Air Ag, but the next contract might say another supplier, Air Ag. What happens, I'm stumbling on that, what happens when this contract ends in 18 months? Sometime during this next 18 months, I'm going to be approaching the town and say, listen, I'm going to make ourselves look good here. I'm just going to say, hey, listen, in 2027, we see energy futures for the next 36 months at 10 cents. If the town likes that, we go to bid, show everyone what the low price is. If they decide to choose that, there would be a postcard. It would look just like this, but it would have information on it. XYZ supplier for 36 months at 10 cents. So that you're notified and you know this is what's going to happen. Do you need to do anything? Believe it or not, no, you don't. The winning supplier is going to pick up all the accounts that are on the aggregation, going to move them to their load asset into there, and you'll be seamlessly moved. Most of the people will be seamlessly moved. It is a utility program, so there will be some fumbles, but make no mistake, we're here to work with you. But I just want you to know you don't need to do anything. You'll be automatically switched to the new supplier and the new rate. That is Municipal Aggregation 101. And Denise is going to fill in anything I might have missed.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention before we get to questions, I don't know anyone in the room or anyone online, if for some reason you didn't get a postcard or a letter, there may be a few folks who didn't get either. And simply that may be because you put a supplier block on your account with National Grid. So a supplier block. So you wouldn't be marketed to. Years ago and still now today, people get inundated with solicitation offers, and you might have called the utility and said, it's too much, I want it to stop. You know, if you messaged anything like that when you called National Grid, they would have put a supplier block on your account so you couldn't be marketed to. Unfortunately, that includes the town's program, and when we get the list of folks from the utility to mail to, we're not allowed to mail to anyone with a supplier block. So if you didn't get a mailing, I would call National Grid, ask if you have a supplier block on your account. That should be the reason, because we should have everyone else covered. You just need to remove that, have them remove it, and then you can opt in to the town's program, no problem. But we feel like the town's program is different than the solicitations and it shouldn't be included, but we're still arguing to get those names, but we haven't won that battle yet. So I just wanted to cover anybody if you fell into a gap and you didn't get one or the other. So
great point. Now, we have a question in-house here.
Hi, I'm Peg Pfeiffer. I'm a trustee of Autumn Ridge Farm Condominiums. My colleague, John Cadigan. And we have two more people from Autumn Ridge online, Ellen and Doug. So you can see there's interest from our small community. I have to say, this looks very good, but the first thing is, I have to say, Robert knows, we're an over 55 community. So when some people got this, and some people got the other, and we were at a trustee meeting, and we read them, we were even confused. So somehow I would have merged this. In that same letter, I would have said, if you're in a supplier, this is what I would do. And then some people said, oh, I think I threw it away because it looks like junk mail. That's really their problem. So I just wanted to say that communication, was a little confusing, and we sat down and read both pieces and tried to straighten it out with our community. I'm not sure if we have. That's one of the reasons I'm here tonight. So I happen to get this one, because I do have a other supplier, and just for the people on the phone, I called them, and there is a termination fee. So from my personal point of view, I'm gonna stick with them till the end of the contract. I think it's November or October, and then I can call Colonial Power, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so that, I want to be able to communicate that to our community.
I just want to state, anyone can join or leave at any point during the 18 months. At any point, they're free to do so.
So the rate change, any rate change is really determined in 18 months by you and the town.
The town,
Not every 6 months like National Grid used to do.
minus a change in law, meaning
Oh.
they've changed some taxes or something like that happened. This rate will be the rate. And when it moves, even with the change in law, it's like a mill, just so that you're aware. You can count on this rate being there for the next 18 months.
Okay, all right. What else do I want to ask?
So she will need to opt out of the program,
No.
to wait until,
Nope, as long as she receives this, this is just a notification that the program is available to you, but it doesn't, this is the opt-out card. If you receive this, you need to take action. This is informational only.
Mine is information, so I know what I have to do.
okay,
Once I called the other.
And the good news is we got that, this is a new thing. So up until last fall, we weren't even able to notify folks who are on third-party supplies. So this is new, like an opt-out mailing, DPU requires an opt-out mailing, go to folks on basic service, letting them know they're gonna be automatically moved. We couldn't even contact folks on third-party
Wow.
supply through mail. It's a new development with the DPU when they kind of redid the municipal aggregation guidelines. And now we have access to that, so it's great. An informational mailer can go out and you're at least aware, and you can make a decision if you want to opt in or if you don't, or you just want to wait. So
And
at least it gets the word out a little
like
bit.
I mentioned, that another neighbor at a different supplier, not the
Yes.
same as me,
No.
called them, they lowered the rate. So obviously, things are very different across the board. So it's hard even for us to tell our community, do this or do that.
And that is part of a deregulated marketplace. And I'm very happy to hear in your community that people are calling and negotiating. You're staying and doing this. Yes.
The Autumn Ridge folks don't mess around.
Yeah, no, I'm just, that's refreshing because many times people get stuck in contracts they shouldn't be in. So wonderful.
When the people who are not, unlike me, who have National Grid supply, they're being opted into this standard, is that correct?
That's the default product.
Can they choose the others?
They can't, that's exactly correct. Should they be they could choose either of the other two if they wanted to.
On one of those forms?
They would just go on to Colonial Power Group or give us a call and they can make that choice.
And what is the optional basic that meets mass renewable energy?
That's basically the equivalent of basic service, the exact same amount of renewable as basic service, 69% in 2029, 63%, my apologies, 63% renewable.
And the green is, optional green is,
Yes, so the optional green has the renewables from Mass at 63%, and then another 37% national wind. So those are large windmills, maybe out of Texas, Oklahoma, or the hills in Pennsylvania.
so if people are concerned about that, they might choose that.
That's exactly correct.
If they're concerned about price, they might choose basic.
That is correct.
Any others, John?
so
I'll get there.
Okay.
is there somebody else that's,
Yeah.
He has a question back here.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
So this is a bit of a naive question for my own self-edification here. What I'm not understanding here is that the electricity in the transmission lines is an agglomeration of all of this,
Yes.
right? It's not like if I say I want the optional green and only the electricity coming from wind farms is hitting my home, okay?
Yes.
So the part that's lost on me is if you can offer me, because it's all packed together.
Yes.
It's just
I don't,
electricity.
yeah. And your question is not naive.
It's a great question.
It's a
yeah.
great
I don't understand why, if you can offer me, even though these, yes, it's a savings. Is it a giant needle mover? Not really.
Nope.
I could probably find $10 in my couch cushions. But if you could offer the lowest rate, why not just give that to everybody?
So
I don't understand. It's
So-
just all power.
oh yeah, and there's a couple of questions packed in there that I want to get to. First and foremost, the town wanted to promote the renewable from the national wind perspective. The other one is a nuclear wreck, and that is carbon free. So it helps the environment,
I understand.
and that was an important piece.
Yeah.
To continue on to your question, which is a great question, how exactly do we how do we get to call energy green or carbon free? Because he is 100% correct. We are all using the exact same electron. But the way it works for energy is we all get the same power. Make no mistake. Wherever the closest power plant is, that's where your electron's coming from. It's just the way it works. But as long as you buy renewable energy certificates on top of that power, you're able to call it green. So what the supplier is going to do, it's the only way they can give you, so that you can support the project, whether it's nuclear, renewable, so forth. You pay for those. And then when you buy those, and the supplier has to buy those by contract, they buy those extra every megawatt that they put on of electricity, they get a renewable energy certificate that they can sell in the marketplace. So where everyone's going, believe it or not, 10% more carbon-free energy is being used in your load. You get credit for it. Is it going to your house? No question, no. It is not. But that's not the way renewables work in ISO New England.
Not yet.
I would agree. There's no way to get an electron to go from Seabrook to your house. That's just not the way it works. But there is a way to buy a renewable energy certificate for all the people using this product in Ayer.
I mean, I understand that. I understand how some of this works, but it's more of a feel-good thing to say for the individual to say, I am somehow affecting change by using wind farm energy, but in reality, that's not the case.
That is another 100%. If you're buying a renewable energy certificate, you're not affecting change, but you still are supporting that because the project is already up and running. The one thing that I did want to mention to you, because I agree with you today, this price is solid. It's not a bad price from a historic standpoint. I know you've been through it. Let's just say things don't calm down and the temperature rises and we start dropping bombs through Poland, Germany, and so forth. This rate will be the biggest reprieve this town has ever seen. I had communities, I happen to live in one, City of Marlborough during the 33 cents, we paid 9.3 cents a kilowatt hour because the town has gone out and set this hedge fee. Today, I agree with you. $10 a month, $120 a year. Okay, still not bad. You aggregate it together, it's decent. Oh, no, I know. I just wanted to let you know, but people always see it in today's terms. You just need to be paying it down the road. I don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, peace could come across, and this rate could be above for the next, not until in August, but if that was to happen, who knows what happened? Tariffs go away. So.
We're buying a little insurance.
Correct. At no cost, though. At no cost to the town. That's what I really like. Yep. More questions, though. Online?
Yeah,
Doug online?
anybody online?
Doug.
Yes,
Yeah, go ahead, Doug.
so I just want to know if I have a third party now, without a cancellation fee, do I have to cancel them before enrolling in this program?
So the question is, in case anyone couldn't hear, does he have to cancel his supply? The answer is no, he doesn't. If he enrolls in this program, the way it works is the enrollment will go to First Point. First Point will enroll him in this program, and that enrollment will automatically send a drop to his current supplier.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Lori Sabal has a question.
Yeah, thanks for holding this hearing this information session. I'm really happy that the town is going in this direction and happy that it's happened so quickly. I have one specific question after having read the document. I have solar panels on my house, but I still want to be in the program, and I understand that I can be. Should I, again, go onto the website, the colonialpowergroup.com/air to make my selection as far as which option I want? Or because I have solar panels, would I be making my option in some kind of different way?
The question is she has solar panels, are her options identical? The
Yeah.
answer is yes, her options are identical. You just go on the website and make your choice. I'm going to assume, just so that you know, if you received the packet, not the postcard, you're going to be automatically enrolled. You don't need to do anything. You'll be enrolled in the 10% nuclear at 12,936 because you received this opt-out. You still were on basic service, Lori. You don't need to do anything to join. If you want one of the other products, you do need to go online and make your choice.
Okay, thanks very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right.
More questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
Ellen Fitzpatrick.
Hi, Ellen.
Hi. I hate to admit this, but I throw away a lot of mail that I consider junk because I was not aware this program was going on, and I get all kinds of stuff. So when I got the message from Autumn Ridge that this was happening, my husband asked me, where did we get this packet? And I have absolutely no idea.
I don't remember seeing it either.
Yeah. So is there a way for me to check? I don't think we ever, put a supply block on, but is there a way to find out?
Ellen, if you call 866-485-5858, extension 1, and just tell them that you're looking to find out if that you're on the opt-out list. If you're on the list, you don't need to do anything. You'll be enrolled in the program. And if you're not, and if you don't use the internet, you could have him enroll you as long as you have your electricity bill handy, or you can go online at colonialpowergroup.com/air and enroll yourself.
Okay, could you give me the phone number again, please?
Sure. It's 866-485-5858, extension 1.
Thank you.
Ellen, you can look at your national grid bill.
Yep.
It's usually on the second page, but look for supply. And if you're signed up with somebody else, like one resident signed up with, I think it's called Clear Choice, Provider Power, or National Grid, you will see if you're National Grid or somebody else.
I am in National Grid. I know that because I just looked at the bill, but I don't know that I'm blocked or anything.
The supply block.
I'll
Yes.
just have to check. Okay, I'll call. Thank you.
It's possible.
We'll be
You're
sorting
welcome.
that out.
More questions?
Muted again.
Oh, we got another one.
Just more of a follow-up again just to reiterate what I heard you say earlier. Prior to the end of 18 months, the townspeople will get something mailed to them, informing them that the end of the 18 months is coming by this time frame, and the rate for whatever, I'm assuming maybe the next 18 months, if you're.
Or something different.
Or whatever the next time block is, will be this, and here are your options.
That is correct.
And that the town will, I'm assuming, proceed forward again with this same similar program where everybody will be auto-enrolled again for the next block of time unless they opt out.
That is correct. You'll automatically be moved from First Point to whoever the other supplier is. You don't need to do anything.
Just wanted to make sure
Yes.
that I had that right.
No, you have that 100% correct.
Perfect.
More questions online?
I do have another question, Ellen. I'm sorry, I don't know how it all works, but if we have any interruption in service and there's a problem and our electricity goes out, are we still going to be working with National Grid on that?
I think it's an excellent question, and I probably should have mentioned it. I just want everyone to know we're still National Grid customers. Everything we do, for the most part, we're going to continue to do with National Grid. National Grid is our utility company. The town went out and bought the commodity only. So if the power goes out, you're going to call National Grid. You got a problem with your bill, you're going to call National Grid. Any of those issues are still National Grid. Believe it or not, National Grid by law after 1997 had to sell off all their generation. They're only a poles and wires company at this point. So any of those things, I just want you to know that this program, say First Point Power went bankrupt, the lights would not go out. This is a financial transaction, and the power would continue to flow. You'd automatically be moved back to basic service. We'd be approaching the town with a new supplier. I don't expect this to happen, but that's what would actually functionally happen should a catastrophe happen.
All right, thank you.
Sorry. Does this apply to non-residents? We have a clubhouse at Autumn Ridge that obviously gets electricity. How do we sign them up?
So if that clubhouse, it would have got, so just so that you know, National Grid would have, if you got a bill, National Grid would have given us the information. We would have sent this to every meter,
Every account.
Every account. Commercial, residential, industrial.
Manager will.
But that's who, wherever that bill goes, that's where this would have went.
If I can't find it, what do we do?
You can call the number and ask. You can
Call the number or
and
grab the,
ask
if you can get the bill, go right online and sign them up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I wonder if it makes, we had a quick question about solar, but does it make sense to kind of walk through, just
Sure.
seeing it's being recorded in case anyone.
That's a great
Yeah.
point. If you have solar panels, I want you to know nothing changes other than normally you're putting on basic service and you're taking off basic service. They wash. This scenario is going to be a little bit different. So right now, if you go to use power, you're going to pay the $12.9 if you're in the standard product. If you are in the program with solar panels, National Grid's still going to credit your account the $14.6. This isn't a magic pill though. If we go upside down, I just want to say, so the rate is a little bit higher, and National Grid comes back at 12 cents in August. You would be using power at $12.9 and they'd be crediting you at 12 cents. They will always credit your bill at basic service. Nothing changes, it will all work. If you currently have a credit, $300, $500 on your bill, that will stay in place. More questions?
John, did you have a question?
Oh, sorry.
Given the greatest stuff that's happening down in Washington and tariffs and so forth, the Canadians are a tad upset. Understandably, and I would appreciate why they would be. So there is some discussion of shutting off back hydro coming down to the States. That will require ISO to buy more power from fossil and nuclear at a higher price. But we would still pay the $12.9, and who eats the difference?
So make no mistake, this is a financial transaction. So when the manager signed the contract, they went out and purchased futures on a futures market, and they locked in this price on that day. So the risk is with, I mean this honestly, the risk is with First Point, but this is contractually obligated for the next 18 months.
And their only choice is to go bankrupt and opt out of it.
They don't pay any more for it either because they're in a contractual obligation right now for that futures hedge.
It's because presumably the power coming down from Quebec is a good deal cheaper per kilowatt hour.
Very good deal, cheaper. Very good deal. Very clean, very good deal. Long
The
term.
other thing that struck me as odd, normally when you get offers from third-party suppliers, the green option is more expensive than regular options. Here, it's cheaper, it's at $12.8 versus $12.9 for the standard default. how does that work? Normally, green energy is much more expensive than fossil energy.
Great question. There are many third-party suppliers that charge much more than they should be for the green nature of their product. So Clean Choice Energy, one of those companies, they actually have this exact same product, and they would be charging about 3 cents higher, when the actual price in the marketplace is just what you're seeing here. So again, power of aggregation, we make the suppliers bid on the load, and if they bid too high, they don't win the load. So it is a competitive bid that, continually drives down price. Now I say drive down price, I'm not saying that it's cheap, I'm just saying it's been driven down.
And the other thing, does the 18-month apply to optional basic and optional green?
Yes, it does. Those 3 rates will be the rate you can get for the next 18 months. More questions online? Yes, sir.
Hi, Kurt Breskowski, 39 Groton Harbor Road. I have solar also, and I just wanted to clarify what you said. I appreciate it. So right now, when in the summer months, the sun is shining and I'm getting credits at whatever I'm paying the national grid rate.
The national grid rate, that's what you're gonna get credited.
Now that I'm in this program, okay, and I'm going with the standard default, so my charge is 0.12936. So this summer, when I'm getting credits back, it's going to be credited at 0.12936.
Nope, at 14,672. National Grid, the utility is always gonna do their basic service price,
Gotcha.
always. So let's just say it was cloudy and you ended up using power, you'd still be charged the 12. Anything you produced in excess would actually be at the 14.
Okay, so my solar power credit is calculated on the national grid bill
That is correct.
because it's going into national grid and we can't.
That's exactly correct. They try to be net zero on the product.
Okay,
Great question.
thank you.
Yes.
Pauline?
Thank you. Good evening. I live in an all-electric house. I purchased it purposely, and I have been changing suppliers for a while. I was encouraged when the town went forward with this. My current supplier is at the exact same rate as you are. So my contract is up, I think, in June, and then I can just switch to First Point.
That's correct. You could ask if they would be willing to keep that price, Pauline, or meet or beat the price because you already have this offer on the table. If they're not willing to meet or beat this price in June, which given the time frame, they may be for a few more months. You seem to be a savvy consumer. Stay with whoever you have. If you get to a point where they're not willing to meet or beat this price, you don't need to have an argument. Just make sure there's no fee to leave their program, and you can opt into this program for as long as you'd like.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to switch to the aggregation. I've been following this for the last couple of years, and I'm glad the town has finally moved forward with this. So my other question is, I work for an employer who is in fact an energy's, not supplier, how do I say this without being careful? They install energy efficiency equipment, let's say that. We received the same offer in the mail recently about switching our building's electricity rate to First Point. So as I understand it, it's not just residential, all commercial buildings can do the same?
That is correct. Every meter in town, whether you're residential, commercial, industrial, get the same rate. So there is everyone is able to join the program at this rate.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I will make sure we and the landlord are aware of that tomorrow. Y'all have a good night.
Same to you. Thank you, Pauline. More questions? Not seeing any more questions. That's all I have for you tonight. If you wanted to ask questions, Denise and I are going to be standing around until every question is answered. I can't thank you for your time. Yes, sir.
Just thanks to the town manager for pursuing this. It benefits the town as well, because, while we may save $10 a month or some small amount, town, the streetlights, the pumps for our water supply system, the schools, and myriad other loads, they will probably save a little bit more than $10 a month, which is a good thing. So it's a nice, good government example of how to run things. We thank the town.
Yeah, no, they've done a fantastic job. They've been nothing but a pleasure to work with.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. And likewise with Colonial. So as we move forward, as Mark and Denise said, there's always more questions. So again, on the handout, there's both the website and the phone number to call. And also Carly Antonellis, the assistant town manager, has been great fielding a lot of questions, and she worked on this from the beginning. So if all else fails, let Carly or I know if there's any questions. We'll make sure you get connected with Colonial Power. So we'll keep working together on this. And we thank everybody for coming tonight. This was recorded, so we will post this and it will
Yeah.
be available.
So our website where we're posting all of this is air.ma.us/energy. So everything for municipal aggregation is on that one page.
Yes.
Thank you for putting this forum together.
Well, thank you all. Excellent questions. And Mark, Denise, the experts, thank you.
Very welcome.
Everybody that attended remote, thank you.
One more question?
Yeah, just because I'm dense.
No,
No.
no dense.
They've said all this stuff.
Fine.
So, to summarize, as of what date will,
Your meter read.
Your April meter read.
okay, so as of my April meter read,
You'll be enrolled.
I have done nothing.
Yes,
I will be enrolled at 0.12936.
but you will
You'll
not
start
see
it.
it on your April bill. You won't see it until May. We use the electricity first, and then you're going to see it in your May bill.
You should see something on your April bill saying you're being switched, your supplier's being switched. It's not, it's a utility, it's not always there. It's supposed to be there, but that's when you'll start accruing at the town's rate. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Good
everyone.
evening.